What's up everybody, we're back with another video. In today's video we've got some bad news, we've got some good news, and we've just got some news to tell you guys. So before we do that, please like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get on with it. So today is a couple of days after King Leon's gone, and it's pretty much the day after I went and did my tour of the really nice fish store. Now, like I've said in the past, I did a video on dealing with aggression, and in that video I talked about my vieja who picks on my paku a lot, and so does my albino gourami. My vieja is significantly worse. He just harasses the paku 24/7, and I told you in the past that the paku gets scratched on the lava rock. That lava rock, that driftwood, you know, he swims about and bashes into things, he crashes into the side of the tank, and this guy is just an absolute mean guy. Now look, he's probably going to go ahead and start picking on the albino gourami. Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know why they didn't like, because both of them did not like the paku. And I don't know what the reason for this was. The paku never fought back, he was continuously harassed, and I just had enough of it. So as you can see, the paku's not in here, but he's not gone. The paku is in here. This is his new temporary home. And when I say temporary, I do mean temporary. He will not be staying in here for long. I don't know what I'm going to do with him. I don't know if I'm going to sell him or just give him away to a better home. But he has been harassed way too much. And he is such a nice fish. Like, you know, he's so peaceful. He doesn't pick on any of the other fish. He has never done anything wrong, and yet he's the one who takes the brunt of the assault. So he is currently in this tank, and if you guys remember, this used to be Kevin and Flame's tank. Flame, if you remember, went to the tank just next to it, and Kevin was left in here. I was treating Kevin. Unfortunately, Kevin passed away after a week of treating, and I am really devastated, but this kind of worked out for the best because it did give Marshall, which is this paku's name, a place to stay. And that was my bad news. We lost Kevin, one of my favorites, and another flower horn off the channel. I honestly don't know what was happening with her. She, like I said in a couple of videos ago, she just seemed very listless and wasn't really doing her normal behavior stuff, so I started treating her for some internal worms and parasites because she wasn't eating. And, you know, I wasn't able to save her. Like I said, I was treating her for a week. So I am quite upset. Now, I just poured in some salt to the aquarium because he has a lot of abrasions on his side, and I'm trying to make sure that he is A-okay. And we're just going to give him some time apart. So why did I say that this was a temporary rehoming? That was because I do plan to put him back into the 180. But I am going to give it maybe 2 or 3 months. Unfortunately, he'll stay here. I will put an ad out online if anyone does want to collect him in that time, but if no one does, because you need really big tanks to keep paku. So not a lot of people want to keep paku. So if nobody comes to pick him up in that time, I'm going to keep him in this tank and kind of wait for my other fish, my smaller vieja and my parrotfish, and these lot to get bigger to go in here. And hopefully, with the cichlids, they will help to attract this guy's attention away from the paku, and so they will kind of have their own internal aggression affairs as opposed to, you know, venting it out on my paku. With that being said, I will be keeping an eye on him because obviously now that there's no paku, he might go and attack the albino gourami, he might go attack the silver arowana, and I don't really want that either. But the reason why I moved the paku specifically and not the vieja was because if I'd moved the vieja, I know that the albino gourami would still go after the paku, and so I decided that I'm going to try this out and see if the vieja is okay with the albino gourami, because I think they have a power dynamic where the vieja is the alpha and the albino gourami is the beta, or the beta, I don't know how you want to call it. So I think that he will leave the albino gourami alone. But we can only hope. So now, as you can see, there is a bag that is floating on top of the surface of this tank, and inside are 3 silver dollars. So when I had my Florida gar, I had 2 of them, really big Florida gar. They actually ate 2 of my silver dollars. Now, the remaining survivors are in this tank Let me switch on the light. There are 3 survivors. They're all in this back corner, if you can see them. I don't really know how well you can see them. Try it from that angle. There we go, they come out. There they are. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna introduce these guys into their aquarium, give them a few days to settle down. The blood parrot is back here, and that's another reason why I wanna add these fish in, was because the blood parrot just stays behind this filter, and I'm hoping that with these guys swimming around the tank, they will help to draw him out, which will be great. I think that will really help him and make him feel way more comfortable. I really can't tell if he's alive or not, but I think he is fine. I hope. Anyways, I will check properly. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and let these guys sit for a few minutes and then release them into the tank, and hopefully they will draw out the parrotfish. Here are the little silver dollars, and in they go. You're so tiny and cute. But these guys can get pretty big. They can get to about 6 inches long. I would say, what, they're about 2-3 inches long max. Maybe, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and switch off the light just to give them the time to acclimate, and then we'll come back to this tomorrow when we can take a look and see how they're doing. Alright, so it's been a few days since I put in the silver dollars, and I've added my own silver dollars that were in the tank below to it. And as you can see, they are eating right now. The parrotfish is behind the filter, but the thing is, they're just really skittish around me. So they're completely fine when the lights are off and they're all together. In fact, it was really funny because obviously when I added in the bigger 3, one of the smaller ones was the first one to join the group, and then the other 2 I think joined overnight. So they are getting along, and having the larger group does help their stress levels essentially. Like, look, now the parrotfish is out, it feels more comfortable. But yeah, I will add in some more decorations and eventually more fish, seeing on how everything works out in this tank. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I've just done a water change in all the tanks, and I've checked up on the Parku. He's doing okay, he's starting to heal up. Actually, they heal up quite quickly. So basically before, when I took him out the aquarium, his scales had kind of been shaved off, and there was like a lot of white skin on his sides, but now that's started to clear up and his scales have started to come back quite quickly. I can go ahead and give you guys a look. It's not going to be the greatest quality because there are no lights in this tank, and he kind of moves a lot. So I hope you guys managed to see that it's kind of cleared up and his scales look back to normal. Parku are really, really strong animals. You know, they can take a beating, and I wasn't really worried about him taking the beating because I know he can take that abuse. It was just because he'd been shaved so raw, I was worried about him getting infected, and I didn't want that to then spread to this tank because it's quite a large volume of water to try and treat. So he's doing well at the moment. Again, like I said, I'm going to keep him in here for a while. He doesn't have the most amount of space, I know. This is more of a hospital tank for him, but I kind of want to see how it goes. I will show you guys an update on how the Vieja and the Agrami are getting along. The Vieja has been attacking the Agrami a bit, but it's not as bad as how he was for the Parku. So I am keeping an eye on that. But for the most part, I think there is some sort of hierarchy now in place so that the Vieja doesn't feel like he has to be such an aggressor. He has started to chase around the Arowana a bit, but even then it's very minor. And like I said, I will be keeping an eye on it. So, like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I did film this over a few days, so it might be a bit hit and miss at the moment. But like I said, I hope you guys are enjoying, I hope you guys are keeping safe, and I hope you guys are finding something to do over this period of time, because, again, they're increasing restrictions for us, so they're just taking away things for us to do, which isn't great, but, you know, obviously we have to think of the bigger picture, I guess. So, I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, peace out.